The final session of the day will be on the core principle of job creation, strategic economic development, and fiscal security. I will turn it over to our county administrator to begin the presentation.
Thank you, Director Tillerick. Good afternoon. I'm County Administrator Kenneth Wilson, and today you will hear part of the story on how we are working every day to make Franklin County a place where the economy is thriving, inclusive, and sustainable. The 2025 recommended budget aligns with our strategic direction by investing in those areas that will allow us to advance our vision for the core principle of job creation, strategic economic development, and fiscal security. As seen in the presentations to follow, this budget and our agencies embrace the values of sustainability, education, and inclusiveness. In order to support an economy with diverse industries that meet the current and future needs of the community, we must continue our investments in affordable housing in order to tackle the challenges of population growth. As Ohio's most populous county, 1 in every 9 residents in the state of Ohio call Franklin County home. According to the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission, the 15-county Central Ohio region will see a growth of 720,000 people by 2050, which equates to 272,000 additional households and 357,000 additional workers. Almost half of that growth is expected to be absorbed by Franklin County, resulting in a 26% increase over our current population. For almost 20 years, the Board of Commissioners have been committed to affordable housing. In 2005, the board approved Resolution 998-205, authorizing a transfer fee of $1 per 1,000 of the sale amount of each deed, conveyance, real property, or manufactured home in Franklin County. This fee is expected to generate $7.7 million in 2025, with half of that amount going to the Community Shelter Board and the other half going to the Affordable Housing Trust for Columbus and Franklin County. The Community Shelter Board was created in 1986 and is a not-for-profit organization that works to develop and implement strategies that decrease homelessness and increase the placement of homeless persons into permanent housing in our community. In addition to the proceeds collected from the conveyance fee, the agreement with the Community Shelter Board includes an additional $2 million from the general fund to support its work, including emergency shelter, permanent supportive housing, rapid rehousing, homelessness prevention, and winter warming centers. The Affordable Housing Trust was created as an independent, not-for-profit entity in 2001 in response to the effort by the county and the city to strengthen neighborhoods within Columbus and Franklin County. With funding provided by the conveyance fee, low interest loans are provided for affordable new home and apartment developments, as well as the rehabilitation of vacant and abandoned residential buildings. Featured projects include Clover Grove, located on Galloway Road in West Columbus, which will provide 230 units for seniors aged 55 and older, with supportive services provided by National Church Residencies. Kingsley Park Apartments, which will create 180 new units of affordable housing at 80% of the area median income in Canal Winchester. And NCJC Downtown, which constructed 120 affordable units at 30 to 80% of area median income in downtown Columbus. In addition to funding from the conveyance fee, $5 million was allocated from the county's allocation of the coronavirus local Fiscal Recovery Fund authorized by the American Rescue Plan for the Affordable Housing Trust Emerging Developers Accelerator Program. This is a minority developer cultivation and training program designed to create pathways to development careers for individuals who have historically faced barriers, created to address the lack of affordable housing and challenges faced by minorities entering the real estate development ecosystem. The program prepares for participants to develop affordable housing by providing learning sessions, technical assistance, counseling, and ultimately access to capital. In February of 2017, the Affordable Housing Alliance of Central Ohio released a report identifying the scope of affordable housing challenges facing the community, including a range of issues from a spatial mismatch between affordable housing and job growth areas to rent outpacing the growth of incomes. In response, many local governments and institutions, Franklin County included, began exploring how to best contribute to the community's varied and complex affordable housing needs. This analysis led to the recommendations for an affordable housing implementation framework to address the needs within the county, including recommendations for increased budget allocations for several new programs to induce the development of new affordable units. To support these initiatives, the Board of Commissioners approved Resolution number 616-19, authorizing an additional conveyance fee of $1 to support these efforts. With the increase in permissive conveyance fee from $1 to $2 per 1,000 of the sale amount, the revenue was deposited into the Affordable and Emergency Housing Fund rather than the general fund. To support the creation of new affordable housing units, some of these additional funds have been used to leverage resources from the Ohio Housing Finance Agency's 4% low-income housing tax credit, or LITAC funds. County funds are not officially awarded unless these projects are successful in their application for the 4% LITAC or the competitive 9% LITAC. Looking forward to going ahead despite facing critical challenges. In addition to the conveyance fee, we've used a portion of federal pandemic funding to support affordable housing. With the support of the American Rescue Plan funding, we were able to enter into a grant agreement with Nationwide Children's Hospital in the amount of $15.5 million to assist Linden residents who currently rent or own, increase their ability to retain their home safely and affordably, and to help Linden residents expanded availability of affordable rental units, and homeowner opportunities. This grant seeks to provide additional services to improve knowledge of child development strategies and parent techniques and experience increased community connectiveness. In addition, the county has received $89 million in funding for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. This program was established by the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2021, with additional funding provided by the American Rescue Plan to continue this program. With this funding, Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services and other contracted partners were able to serve 17,000 additional households with direct rental assistance for our vulnerable residents. Approximately 11,000 of these had incomes at least 30% of area median income, while just under 3,700 had incomes between 30 and 50% of area median income. Despite this funding, there were 23,000 evictions filed in 2023, and the number is expected to be higher this year. Longer term solutions are needed to address the deficit in affordable housing in our community. What may have worked prior to the pandemic when it comes to developing affordable housing units is no longer sufficient. As noted in the NACO Housing Task Force report on advancing local housing affordability, housing policy is highly complex, multi-layered topic requiring partnerships, dialogue, coordination across all levels of government, private and nonprofit organizations, and the community. Looking forward to 2025, we expect to bring in a consultant to update our affordable housing framework. We have already started to reimagine what this entails, such as ensuring that affordable housing units are wired for broadband and internet service provided at no cost to residents in projects supported by county funds. To better focus these efforts in 2025, a position will be filled under the Board of Commissioners to focus on research and coordinating all of the county's supported initiatives in this critical area of affordable housing and other initiatives that align with the Commissioner's core principles. The budget also includes transferring the Affordable and Emergency Housing Fund from Economic Development and Planning to the Board of Commissioners in the 2025 budget. In addition to affordable housing, a thriving economy requires an investment that fosters an environment that supports minority owned, small, and emerging businesses. I will now turn the presentation over to D'Amica Weathers, our Chief Economic Equity and Inclusion Officer in the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, to discuss some of these efforts.
During 2024, we continued our engagement with small and emerging businesses through the Coffee and Conversation outreach events. These events provide effective communication and networking opportunities to local businesses to share and foster conversations relative to procurement opportunities within Team BOC agencies. And a feedback testimonial from our last Coffee and Conversation, and the attendees shared. I had a fantastic time at the Coffee and Conversations event. The atmosphere was welcoming, and it was wonderful to engage with so many passionate individuals. Hearing diverse perspectives on important topics really enriched the discussion. I left feeling inspired and eager to continue these meaningful conversations. In addition to the Coffee and Conversations, ODEI hosted the SCBE Mix and Mingles outreach event, fostering a space where small and budding businesses can network and support innovative ideas. This function provides a venue of inclusivity and attracts a wide range of sectors from technology to manufacturing to food and beverages to retail and digital solutions onto professional services of all scopes. This year, we also collaborated with many community partners, such as the Ohio Department of Development, MORPC, City of Columbus Diversity and Inclusion Office, Columbus City Schools, for the Supplier Diversity Summit held in May. We also provided Hispanic Heritage Business Market during Hispanic Heritage Month. We partnered with Asian American Commerce and the newly created African Chamber and many other business chambers in Franklin County to bring awareness to opportunity and economic growth. We will continue into 2025 with our commitment to advocate and support our small businesses with full understanding that supporting our local businesses in Franklin County is the foundation and pathway to economic vitality. In our mission to increase the reach in 2025, we aspire to advance through continued partnership with the Purchasing Department and other Board of Commissioner agencies with collaborative inclusion of Team BOC and our existing community partnerships. With a focus on targeted outreach as it relates to goods and services needed by agencies, ODEI aims to equip every resident with resources to collaborate with Franklin County, enable them to take an active role in driving their own personal economic growth from merely surviving to thriving and prospering. Lastly, we are looking to implement and host biannually Thrive Together resource fairs. Thrive Together will serve to provide ongoing support for for diverse suppliers by linking them to essential resources, support services, and potential partners needed to thrive. This initiative aims to foster sustainability and economic growth and ensure support to those local businesses that reflect our community's diversity. The goal of the engagement in 2025 is to increase the total percentage of Board of Commissioner small and emerging business utilization. Currently, SCBEs make up 4.4% of total purchase orders. Outreach and continued collaboration with the purchasing department is vital to increase the reach in 2025. In addition, ODEI is seeking to strengthen economic equity among Franklin County small and emerging business enterprises. With the funding improved in 2024, we have been able to fund organizations, survey businesses in our community, work with organizations who have direct contact to small businesses, and allocate resources to organizations that provide jobs to our residents. 5.8 million has gone to programs that help grow businesses through entrepreneurship programs such as Rev One or businesses development at the Ready to Work program at Columbus Fashion Alliance. We continue to partner with Freedom Equity to provide small microloans to businesses and Minority Business Assistance Center, who provides resources to businesses for their sustainability. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss the efforts that the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion is undertaking to support a thriving and inclusive economy.
In addition to the efforts led by our Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, I would like to highlight two other initiatives the county has and will continue to undertake to support small and emerging businesses. With funding from the Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund approved by the American Rescue Plan Act, the Board of Commissioners approved a COVID-19 capital grant with Zora's House to expand the only community space and leadership incubator in Ohio dedicated to building racial and gender equity in our community. This community hub serves as a center for innovation, empowerment, and economic recovery for women of color. This expansion created 6,000 square feet more of public programming space to scale and expand impact. The new space is intended to incubate and support a minimum of 100 small businesses and to create an additional 500,000 of direct economic impact for women of color and their families over the next 3 years. The 2025 recommended budget continues to support the Franklin County Engineers Equitable Business Enterprise Program for locally funded projects. This program has been established to foster non-discrimination in the award of and administration of locally funded projects and to help remove barriers to the participation of disadvantaged businesses and to assist in the development of firms that can compete successfully in the marketplace. In addition to investing in our local businesses, we must continue to invest in our workforce by supporting programs that assist our residents in earning a livable wage. To discuss a couple of the county's initiatives, I will turn the presentation over to Susan Brown, Director of Child Support Enforcement. Also, Vivian Turner, our Chief Administrator for the Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services.
And I am having some difficulty turning my camera on, so I will continue to try to get that on. In alignment with improving economic mobility and family stability, the Child Support Agency manages the Charting a Course for Economic Mobility and Responsible Parenting demonstration grant. This program empowers the next generation to build stable and successful futures. This grant allows us to employ 2 full-time peer educators with lived experience who are responsible for reaching Franklin County residents aged 13 to 25 with interactive presentations about the importance of education and careers, healthy relationships, and goal setting. Our peer educators play a vital role in encouraging teens and young adults to prioritize their education, launch meaningful careers, and develop healthy relationships before becoming parents. In 2024, our team was successful in bringing these presentations using the No Kidding curriculum to classrooms, after-school programs, and to those preparing for emancipation. By meeting teens and young adults where they are, we ensure they have the access to the education and support they need. Also in 2024, our team expanded their reach by assisting those who are parents in navigating the often complex child support system. Through our collaboration with Job and Family Services, Achieve More and Prosper program, our peer educators regularly attend sessions to connect with parents and help them access the services they need to provide ongoing economic security for their children. This demonstration grant has allowed us to provide much needed education and support to not only teens and young adults who receive the curriculum, but also to the peer educators who present the material. This opportunity has provided our peer educators with highly sought after skills for the workforce and has proven to be a great source of professional development for future promotional opportunities. Child support is a key human services program that encourages responsible parenting, family self-sufficiency, and child well-being that recognizes the essential role played by both parents in supporting their children. Franklin County is a leader in providing innovative services to meet the needs of today's families. We want to take a moment to highlight a partnership between our agency, Job and Family Services, and a local nonprofit, Jewish Family Services. Together, we are reducing barriers to some parents' order to pay child support, and they have a great opportunity to meet with a career consultant who understands their needs and the needs of local employers. The career consultant works with parents to remove or minimize any challenges they may face so they may gain successful and sustainable employment, making a livable wage.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Job and Family Services believes that the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, isn't just about addressing food insecurity. It's about improving economic mobility. Most of our 175,000 plus recipients outside of children and seniors who make up the majority of our SNAP rolls are already working or enrolled in school. For unemployed and underemployed residents, the SNAP Employment and Training Program, or SNAP ENT, is available to help them gain skills and work experience to improve their prospects of obtaining employment and ultimately becoming self-sufficient. Until last month, Ohio operated under a mandatory SNAP ENT program, requiring us to make an attempt to assign every unemployed, able-bodied adult without children, or as we refer to them as ABODs, to a work activity. Only a small fraction of required ABODs were meeting their SNAP ENT obligations. On October 1st, the state introduced an overhaul to the SNAP ENT program, allowing counties to expand the pool of eligible participants beyond the ABOD population and making the program voluntary. This new approach is designed to better meet workforce needs by enrolling residents who are more motivated to participate in job training and obtain new skills. We are partnering with the Godman Guild Association to help administer the program. They will provide training and certifications for in-demand job fields like STNA, phlebotomy, medical coding, and much more. In less than 1 month, we've already completed 417 assessments for SNAP recipients interested in participating in the program and have begun providing referrals to Godman Guild. This year, we began charting paths for additional IT and technology career fields, including our new Broadband Futures program, which provides free training and job placement assistance for fiber optic technicians. There have been 29 graduates of the program, with 21 already placed in employment, with wages starting at $22 an hour. We also expanded exposure to technology careers for young people in our Ready to Earn Summer Work Experience program. Through our partnership with Lead the Way Academy and Levels Unlocked, youth in this pilot program learn how to design games and build their own computers, helping open doors to pursue scholarships and careers in esports and other technology tracks. Our focus in diversifying and enhancing job training programs strive to help residents earn a livable wage and growth careers that align with our labor market needs. This approach is exemplified through innovative programs like our Tech Women of Color initiative. In 2022, you made a multi-year $4.5 million investment in American Rescue Plan dollars to stand up this program. And as a result, 211 low-income women of color have received training for in-demand IT careers at no cost. Comparable courses can cost as much as $18,000. Nearly 90% of the enrollees have completed the program, and all the graduates have obtained either a Cisco IT Essential Certificate or a Cisco Networking Certification, or both. While half of the graduates obtained employment with an average wage of $21 an hour, the experience has empowered another dozen graduates to enroll in advanced IT courses or pursue undergraduate degrees.
Entrepreneur and entertainer Rihanna has said, "There's something so special about a woman who can dominate in a man's world. It takes a certain grace, strength, intelligence, and fearlessness, and the nerve to never take no for an answer. It is why we have invested in programs such as Tech Women of Color. The 2025 recommended budget seeks to ensure that we have an economy that is thriving, inclusive, and sustainable by leveraging and growing these type of public-private partnerships to foster an environment that supports minority-owned, women-owned, and small and emerging businesses. We will continue to be guided by our core beliefs, supporting a local economy that meets the current and future needs of the community, providing residents access to job training, to make them competitive in the workplace, and uplifting workers and businesses of all races, religions, orientations, and gender. This concludes today's presentation on job creation, strategic economic development, and fiscal security. We will be happy to answer any questions from the Board of Commissioners. Thank you very much.
Commissioners, do you have any questions or comments?
Sure. Thanks, administration for, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, great. Thanks to the administration for the presentation. Again, I'll just say this one more time. It's difficult to keep up when you guys go through, half hour or so worth of presentation and get to like go back, two presentations and go for your questions. It's just difficult. Maybe I'm just the only person that feels that way, but so if it is, just leave it the way it is. But I want to go back to the housing question, the housing conversation rather, and this person that we're going to have dedicated. Are we going to be looking at, the county doesn't generally control land use. We do in unincorporated areas, but we don't really um, have the authority in many of the cities. And Columbus is made up of a lot of cities. Central Ohio is Franklin County is made up of a lot of cities, vast majority of land. So the question I have is, is this person going to be more of a coordinator, a quarterback, or kind of a little bit of everything? What are we trying to accomplish? Because I know we're limited, and I want to be thoughtful given, that we've got a lot of things. And so I'm looking specific at new things. And that one caught my attention. I mean, there were a lot of them that did, but I lost track because of the presentation was so long.
This is Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator. President Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Crawley. We've spent some time, working on a job description for this position. What I envision for the position, why I believe the position is needed, is to manage the county's investment as we go forward from the proceeds of the $2 conveyance fee. Managing the work in a more comprehensive manner via our contract with the Affordable Housing Trust for Columbus and Franklin County, as well as managing the contract with the Community Shelter Board. Additionally, the Magnet Fund has been in place, and there has been I would call it informal request for proposal process, working along with Ohio Financing Agency, understanding the LIHTC program and evaluating those projects for the available investments that the county does have. And in having someone that is focused on this full time, looking at housing policy, seeing if there's a way to leverage the 22 million that we created, 2,000 and some odd units. Is there an ability to leverage those dollars further and be more impactful? With $22 million over the last 4 years, we've been able to create 2,185 affordable housing units. As the conveyance fee is collected and these funds are moved over under the management of county administration in the Affordable Housing and Emergency Shelter Fund, I would, love to have someone that's dedicated to looking at those dollars as they come in and helping construct the contracts and allowing us to ensure that we are being as effective and efficient as possible. Or, when we look at uh, the Nationwide Children's Hospital Agreement for the Healthy Homes, which is a $15.5 million investment, having someone dedicated to that conversation, and also having someone from county administration that can be engaged and at the table in the regional housing conversation that has just been announced. While we are a complementary party in the production of affordable housing in Franklin County, I believe that there is a community expectation by virtue of the fact that you all as a board has approved so much money in the past and currently for housing in an affordable shelter. This board's investment goes back 20 years now at this point in dedicated funding for affordable housing. So I hope that kind of answers what the thought process is.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I shared with you my thoughts earlier, so I won't repeat them here.
Yeah.
But I will say that you said 22 million we invested in 2,100 units. That's we are a part of that. That it didn't cost 22 million to build 2,100 units. We'd be in good shape if it did. But so I want to just emphasize that. And my point is that affordable housing is expensive. Housing in general is expensive, and so I do like the idea of peeling back the layers and analyzing, kind of really what we can do and all the different efforts going on and trying to quarterback it in. I question if we need a new position for it, and so I'm open to it. Go with what the group goes with. But I just, again, it's having spent over a year studying this from around the country. I just don't think it's that simple, and I don't want to create a position just to have a sort of a person that reports back what everybody else is doing and whatnot. The other part, that's not what I'm saying doing, but I'm saying I want to make sure that doesn't get to that because of our limitations, that we'll already have. So, did you say this position was going to be housed in EDP?
Housing County Administration.
Yeah, because that's the other part too. I mean, we administer Magnet out of EDP, and I would just maybe think about because they sort of work directly with developers where actual building of housing occurs, and I think we might just think about the person being coordinated. I know we got some challenges in that area, but just think about it, and we can talk about it later in the process. But I would maybe think about that too. I want to talk more and learn more about the position in detail too. So maybe we can just connect on that.
Okay, President Boyce.
Yeah.
Sure.
And just to say, and I can always be, I have my perspective, but I can always be sort of educated further to support it, especially if my colleagues do.
Yes, very good points. The Magnet Fund dates back to 2018, and part of my assignment for this upcoming year, along with individuals like DCA Bivens and Director Pride, will be to come up with revisions to the Magnet Fund and recommend a new program to replace it and how it's functioned in the up to this point. I see
Okay,
DCA Bivens'
thank you.
hand up. All right.
It was an
DCA
accident, County Administrator. I was just gonna make mention of how we were gonna work collectively together to do to put together a repository of the affordable units over the last, I didn't remember, County Administrator, if we said 36 months or the last 5 years of the investments that the county has made. Although we don't own land, we want to make sure that we keep, our repository of where those affordable housing sit. And we're going to work collectively together for that for this year too. Correct, County Administrator?
Yes, we intend to provide an overview of all of that during the process of developing a new framework.
Are there
We
any
have
other
it.
comments or questions, commissioners? Hearing none, I'll check with the clerk to see if we have any public comment requests.
Thank you, Director. Hearing and seeing none at this time.
All right. Well, then that will conclude today's presentation on the core principle of job creation, strategic economic development, and fiscal security. That also concludes our presentations for today, as well as the budget hearings for the 2025 budget. Before we end today's session, a reminder that the 2025 budget will be presented to the Board of Commissioners for consideration at the Thursday, December 5th briefing and scheduled for approval at general session on Tuesday, December 10th. And with that, I'd like to thank you all for attending the 2025 budget hearings.